Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to the course of Art of Leadership and Motivation, HRM 760. Lecture is 19 and I am your facilitator, Professor Dr. Muhammad Majid Mahmood. Today we have a wonderful topic, and that is leadership behavior, motivation and major leadership theories. Now first let us talk about the leader behavior. In some organizations, leader behavior vary depending on subordinates and situations. Now this is a big challenge when we talk about leaders, because leaders vary their behavior with their subordinates and according to situation. And that is called Pygmalion effect. Like for example, when leaders have different behaviors with different followers, that creates problem. So what we need to do here is we need to focus on having the same positive behavior with all of our followers, subordinates, and of course in situations we need to follow the contingency approach, and that is we need to act according to situation. Talking further about leader behavior, we talk about directive leadership. Now directive leadership means task-oriented, expectations, techniques, timeline, standards of performance. So it is task-oriented. The focus is more on the task completion. There are higher expectations and sometimes unrealistic expectations in case of directive leadership. There are maybe same techniques, timelines or deadlines are there, and standards of performance are given. So it is a directive leadership in which directions are coming from the leaders to the followers. Another is the supportive leadership. Now in this type of leadership, leaders have a friendly behavior, they are approachable, they have good understanding of their followers, needs oriented, equality and respect factors are there. Now supportive leadership qualities are really very important. Like for example, as we always say that peace of mind is really very important. So when friendly environment is there and when leader is approachable. Now what happens in most of the organizations that leaders are not approachable, particularly people from the low management, when they want to meet the any persons from the top management, it becomes really very difficult for them to meet those people in the top management. So they in most cases are not approachable. So this supportive type of leadership, these leaders are those, so they have easy approachability. So anyone can meet them, give their feedback. So when these leaders are in direct contact with the middle management and low management and even with the non-managerial employees, it helps an organization improve its effectiveness. It not only improves the overall performance of the organization, but it creates a sense of ownership among the employees towards the organization. Now, people are more loyal when they know that they can meet the top management anytime. They can meet the leaders anytime. And as a result, there is, I repeat, as a result, there is more understanding. Because when your communication is direct, when you have regular, frequent communications, understanding level goes up. And it is based on needs, and equality is there. There is no discrimination. There is no biasness. So, when there is equality, all people working in the organization, irrespective of their grades and status, they are given equal opportunity. So that is best for the organization. And another most important factor is of respect. In this type of supportive leadership, a major element of leaders' behavior is based on respect. और यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज ऐड करता चलूं कि आपकी दूसरों के सामने जो इज्जत है उसको आप कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. वेरी सिंपल अप्रोच इज स्टार्ट रिस्पेक्टिंग योरसेल्फ. जो लोग अपनी जितनी ज्यादा इज्जत करते हैं, लोग उतनी ही ज्यादा उनकी इज्जत करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जो लोग बहुत सोच समझ कर बात करते हैं, जो लोग दूसरों का बहुत ख्याल करते हैं, जो लोग मैनर्स का ख्याल करते हैं, जो लोग बहुत बाइखलाक हैं, जो लोग एथिक्स का ख्याल करते हैं, तो जितना ज्यादा लोग सोच समझ कर बात करते हैं, इखलाक का मुजाहरा करते हैं, क्योंकि वो अपनी बहुत इज्जत कर रहे होते हैं. और जो लोग अपनी इज्जत करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली बहुत सोच समझ के कम्युनिकेट करते हैं. सो इट अल्टीमेटली इट मीन्स दैट कि दूसरे भी उनकी उतनी ही ज्यादा इज्जत करते हैं. Then we talk about participative leadership behavior. These type of leaders believe on sharing, consultation, advice seeking, and integration. Now these are the major characteristics of the behaviors of those leaders called participative leaders. They believe on sharing their ideas. Now these leaders have a flexible thinking. They believe that 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. So they keep on sharing their ideas. They keep on consulting each other. They seek advice from others. So this is really wonderful. Because when you seek advice from others, it means that you are really respecting others. You are really giving value to others. And integration, सबको साथ लेके चलते हैं. So as a result, there is better brainstorming. People, they develop strong sense of ownership in the organization. They become more responsible, irrespective of their grades. And when people know that the top management or the leadership, they are focusing on more on the participation. They are giving value to our ideas. So people, they love to share. And when the leaders make decisions based on the feedback, based on the ideas from others, based on the advices from others, people become more loyal with the organization. And that results in better efficiency and effectiveness. Then we talk about the behaviors of achievement-oriented leadership. Challenging, high standard of excellence, confidence in subordinates' abilities. Now these are the major characteristics of the behaviors of those leaders who are called achievement-oriented leaders. They love challenges. They want to have a sense of achievement. So in order to achieve that sense of achievement, they are willing to sacrifice anything for their work. They have a high standard of excellence. These type of leaders, उनके behavior में खास बात ये होती है कि they want to become the market leader, they want to remain the market leader. and that is only possible when they keep on setting the highest standards, when they keep on setting the highest benchmarks in the world. And you will agree with me that it is not easy to set the highest standards of excellence in the world. It needs a lot of sacrifices on an ongoing basis. So this is not one-time show. This is something which an organization needs on regular basis. They have a confidence in their subordinates' abilities. Now these type of leaders who are called achievement-oriented leaders, they really have a strong confidence and trust in the abilities of their subordinates. They are confident that their subordinates can do the best. So there is nothing impossible for them. So with the help of teams, with the help of their subordinates and followers, they do something which is beyond the imagination of others. Now talking about self-motivation, do it now. This is the best advice, I believe, for everybody. हमारी जिंदगी में सबसे बिजी डे कौन सा होता है? टुमारो, कल. कोई भी काम जिसमें जरा सा भी हमें लगे कि ओके थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो रही है, या लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल बहुत चैलेंजिंग है, तो वन सिंपल एक्सक्यूज इज कि कल कर लेंगे. और जब कल आता है तो फिर कल. और यहां पे मैं कहूंगा कि टुमारो नेवर कम्स. सो डू इट नाउ अप्रोच को आप अडॉप्ट करें. डू योर लेवल बेस्ट, कि जो काम जिस डेडलाइन के अंदर करना है, जिस टारगेट टाइम में आपने करना है, उसको उसी टारगेट डेडलाइन के अंदर रहते हुए आप करें. द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट थिंग इज टू स्टार्ट समथिंग. And I can guarantee you, with the right attitude and right behavior, सही नीयत के साथ जब आप काम शुरू करते हैं तो आपका काम हो जाता है. तो डू इट नाउ अप्रोच अडॉप्ट करें. बजाय ये कि हर वक्त आप पास्ट का सोचते रहें या हर वक्त आप फ्यूचर का सोचते रहें. द बेस्ट थिंग इज फोकस ऑन योर प्रेजेंट. इस वक्त जब आप ये लेक्चर देख रहे हैं तो डू इट नाउ अप्रोच ये है कि फोकस मोर ऑन दिस लेक्चर, फोकस मोर ऑन द डिस्कशंस, फोकस मोर, ट्राई टू इंटरप्रेट वट एवर आई एम सेइंग. तो डू इट नाउ अप्रोच जब आप अप्लाई करते हैं अपनी स्टडीज पे, अपनी जॉब पे, अपनी फैमिली लाइफ पे, अपनी सोशल लाइफ पे, तो यू विल सी द मैजिक, यू विल सी द करिश्मा, दैट आपकी लाइफ आसान होना शुरू हो जाती है. और जो चीजें आपको शुरू में इरिटेट कर रही होती हैं या आप रेजिस्ट कर रहे होते हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आप काम कल करना चाह रहे हैं और मैं आपको कह रहा हूं अभी कर लें, तो यू विल सी कि जब वो काम कंप्लीट हो जाएगा आज, तो आपको इंतहाई खुशी होगी. एंड यू विल हैव ए सेंस ऑफ अचीवमेंट, and you will have a lot of inner and outer satisfaction. और फिर आपके लिए ज्यादा टाइम अवेलेबल है for doing other activities. Break up the task into small steps. अगर आपको कोई बड़ा काम करना है, कोई बड़ा टास्क करना है, तो बजाय ये कि पूरे टास्क को आप एक गो में करने की कोशिश करें, ब्रेक द मेजर टास्क इनटू सब टास्क्स. उसको 1 2 3 4 स्टेप्स में, फेजेस में, स्टेजेस में आप कन्वर्ट कर लें. और हर स्टेज को, हर सब टास्क को एक रियलिस्टिक टाइम आप देंगे. क्योंकि फाइन, एक टास्क है, उसके आप 10 स्टेप्स कर लें. 10 स्टेप्स करने के बाद हर स्टेप को एक रियलिस्टिक डेडलाइन दे दें और फिर उसको आप स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो करें. एंड यू विल सी दैट कि शुरू में आपको डेफिनेटली थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम होगी, आपको थोड़ा सा मुश्किल लगेगा, लेकिन जो जो आप एक दो स्टेप्स आगे बढ़ेंगे, यू विल फील मोर कंफर्टेबल एंड यू विल स्टार्ट एंजॉयिंग योर वर्क. डोंट वेट फॉर योर मूड टू बिकम पॉजिटिव. जैसे कि हमने पहले बात की पिछले लेक्चर में 7 हैबिट्स ऑफ हाईली इफेक्टिव लीडर्स में, कि जो लोग मूडी होते हैं दे आर कॉल्ड रिएक्टिव, और जो लोग मूडी नहीं होते दे आर हाईली परसिस्टेंट, they are called proactive. So try to become a proactive person instead of reactive. So do not wait for your mood कि जी जब जब मूड अच्छा होगा तो काम करेंगे. जनाब जब तक मूड अच्छा होगा उस वक्त तक और काम भी इकट्ठे होना शुरू हो जाएंगे. So अगर आप ये सोच रहे हैं कि जब मैं फारिग हूंगा या जब मेरा मूड अच्छा होगा तो तब मैं ये काम कर लूंगा जो भी आपने अभी करना है, तो ये जहन में रखिएगा कि जूं जूं वक्त गुजर रहा है हम ज्यादा बिजी होते जा रहे हैं, हमारी लाइफ में ज्यादा एक्टिविटीज होती जा रही हैं, हम ज्यादा प्रेशर्स को फेस कर रहे हैं. लाइफ इज बिकमिंग मोर चैलेंजिंग डे बाय डे. आप आज से 10-15 साल पहले देखें तो एम्प्लॉयर्स किस किस्म के एप्लीकेंट, जॉब एप्लीकेंट्स को प्रेफर कर रहे थे, और आज आप देखें कि एम्प्लॉयर्स के जो फिल्टर है, जो क्राइटेरिया है, वो बहुत टाइट हो चुका है. सो वक्त के साथ साथ हर चीज ज्यादा चैलेंजिंग होती जा रही है. तो बजाय ये कि आप अपना टाइम वेस्ट करें, डोंट वेट फॉर द मूड, और डू इट नाउ अप्रोच को अगर आप अडॉप्ट करेंगे तो आपका मूड वैसे ही ठीक हो जाएगा. अब थोड़े से स्टेप्स आप सक्सेसफुली कर लेंगे. स्टार्ट एक्शन. सो डोंट प्लान ऑल द टाइम. कुछ लोग होते हैं वो हर वक्त सोचते रहते हैं. सोचना अच्छी बात है, प्लान करना अच्छी बात है, ड्रीम्स देखना अच्छी बात है, लेकिन उन ड्रीम्स को चेस करना बहुत जरूरी है. जितनी भी मोटिवेशन हो, अगर वो एक्शन में कन्वर्ट नहीं होगी, रिजल्ट्स में कन्वर्ट नहीं होगी, तो डेफिनेटली प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. सॉल्यूशंस विल फॉलो इफ यू ट्राई. समटाइम व्हाट हैपेंस कि कोई काम आप शुरू करते हैं तो आपको लगता है कि ये नहीं हो सकता, तो आई अगेन गारंटी यू वन थिंग दैट कि बिस्मिल्लाह पढ़कर आप काम शुरू करें एंड यू विल सी कि पहले जो आप सोच रहे थे काम नहीं हो सकता, ऑटोमेटिकली आपका ब्रेन काम करना शुरू कर देता है एंड यू स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग द प्रॉब्लम, और नए नए सोल्यूशंस आपके सामने आना शुरू हो जाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वेरी सिंपल, यू कैन यूज इंटरनेट. कोई काम आप करते हैं, आपको नहीं समझ आ रही, तो जो भी क्यूरी है, जो भी इशू है, आप उसको जाके लिखें याहू गूगल में सर्च पे जाके, यू विल सी कि दुनिया में लोगों ने क्या क्या किया. And when you get the secondary data, when you know that what others have done in the same kind of situation or in the same kind of problem or in the same kind of activity, so by knowing others' solutions, you can always develop your own customized solution. Making your vision a reality. What will you need to do to achieve your 5 to 10 years vision? आपने अपना 5 to 10 year कोई vision बनाया हुआ है? So what's a must? What is really very important? What is useful? And what's good but not vital? आप अपना 5 to 10 year का vision बनाएं. आपने 5 to 10 years में क्या अचीव करना है, और फिर आप देखें कि उस विजन को अचीव करने के लिए क्या करना मस्ट है, क्या करना यूजफुल है, और कौन सी चीज अच्छी है लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. तो जो चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, मस्ट हैं, उनको अपनी टॉप प्रायोरिटी में आप लेके आएंगे, और जो चीजें इतनी मस्ट नहीं है, ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, उनको आप लो प्रायोरिटी में लेके आएंगे, और जो चीजें अननेसेसरी इररेलेवेंट हैं उनको आप मिनिमाइज करेंगे, खत्म करने की कोशिश करेंगे. then you will see that with the passage of time आप अपने विजन से करीब होते जाएंगे. So what makes you unique? अल्लाह ताला ने हर इंसान को यूनिक पैदा किया. अशरफुल मखलूकात. हर इंसान के अंदर एक वंडरफुल पोटेंशियल है. According to research, majority of the people in the world use only 5 to 10% of their real potential. Now the question is, what about the remaining 90% potential? Only like a small percentage of people in the world, they use their maximum potential. So why not you become one of them? So why not you bring out the best out of you? And that is only possible if you keep on improving your skills, if you keep on improving your desires, and once you keep on improving your knowledge or awareness level. Because ये तीन चीजें हैं, आपकी knowledge, आपकी skills और आपकी desires. इन तीनों को जब हम कंबाइन करते हैं, तीनों फैक्टर्स को, that becomes your habit. So your habits can make you unique as well. So बजाय ये कि we keep on blaming others, बजाय ये कि we make others persons responsible for everything, why not you take the initiative? Why not you bring that positive change? Why not you accept your responsibility? You accept your role in that problem you are facing. So improvement is an ongoing process. So people who keep on improving themselves, they are more successful, and people who keep on blaming others, they move towards decline. 21st century success factors are: people want to get noticed, be remembered, and make a name for yourself. This is what most people want in 21st century. लोग चाहते हैं कि उनका नोटिस लिया जाए, लोगों को पता चले कि मैं कौन हूं. लोग एक अच्छे नाम से चाहते हैं कि लोग उनके बारे में उनको याद करें, उनकी जिंदगी में और उनके जाने के बाद. And make a name for yourself. People want to become a celebrity. So these are the 21st century success factors. And how one can do that? With the help of right attitude and right behavior, we can always achieve these success factors. So what makes you stand out? What do you love doing? क्या करके आपको बहुत अच्छा लगता है? क्या करने में आपकी बहुत ज्यादा मोटिवेशन है? Try to find out that. What comes easy? कौन सा काम आप आसानी से कर लेते हैं? What is important to you? कौन सी चीज आपके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है? What do others appreciate about you? और दूसरे आपके बारे में क्या आपकी तारीफ करते हैं? And what are your greatest strengths? और आपकी बेस्ट स्ट्रेंथ्स कौन सी हैं? तो ये चंद क्वेश्चंस हैं. जब आप इनके आंसर्स देते हैं ऑनेस्टली, तो देन यू नो दैट कि आपका विजन क्या होना चाहिए, आपकी डायरेक्शन क्या होनी चाहिए, और किन स्किल्स पे आपने फोकस करना है, किस तरह की नॉलेज आपके पास होनी चाहिए, और किस तरह की मोटिवेशन आपकी होनी चाहिए. Now let us talk about motivation further, that we talk about intrinsic versus extrinsic rewards. Now human brain के अंदर जो भी चीज आपकी जो थिंकिंग है, जो आपकी परसेप्शन है, like feeling of job well done, pride, sense of achievement, तो जो inner satisfaction है, we call that intrinsic rewards. और जो आपकी आउटर सेटिस्फेक्शन है, वी कॉल दैट एक्सट्रिंसिक रिवॉर्ड्स, लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल प्रेज, सैलरी इंक्रीज, स्टेटस, गिफ्ट्स, प्रमोशंस, recognition. So according to research, intrinsic rewards are more powerful than extrinsic rewards in the long run. So if we really want to motivate our employees, if we really want to bring wonderful positive changes in our organization, we need to focus more on inner satisfaction of our employees. Outer satisfaction is important, but the number one preference should be the inner satisfaction, because the real loyalty of employees comes through inner satisfaction. Now let us talk about various leadership theories. These are trait, behavioral, contingency, transformational. Now let us first talk about trait theory. We talk about initial leadership research 1920 to 1930s. It focused on what an effective leader is, not on how to effectively lead. Assumes that certain physical, social, and personal traits are inherent in leaders. So now you see that कि ट्रेड थ्योरी सर्टन ट्रेड्स के ऊपर फोकस करती है कि ऐसी कौन सी फिजिकल आपकी ट्रेड्स हैं या करेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आपका कह सकते हैं कि आप कितने हेल्दी हैं, आपका कद कितना बड़ा है, आपके सोशल और पर्सनल ट्रेड्स कि आप कितने ज़्यादा सोशल हैं, आपकी कितनी अच्छी इंटरपर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स हैं, और आपकी पर्सनल ट्रेड्स कि आपकी हैबिट्स कैसी हैं वगैरह वगैरह are inherent in leaders according to trait theory of leadership. So early trait theories identified physical characteristics like height and appearance. Now 1920s और 30s की जब हम बात करते हैं तो जिन लोगों की हाइट ज़्यादा होती थी और जिनकी अपीयरेंस ज़्यादा गुड लुकिंग होती थी उनको कहा जाता था कि दे आर द रियल लीडर्स, दे आर द आइडियल लीडर्स। मीनिंग के अगर आपका कद बड़ा है, आप लंबे कद के हैं और आप बहुत गुड लुकिंग हैं तो यू आर ए लीडर। ऑन द अदर साइड जिनका कद छोटा होता था या जो बहुत ज़्यादा गुड लुकिंग नहीं होते थे तो उनके बारे में समझा जाता था कि ये लोग जो हैं इफेक्टिव लीडर्स नहीं हैं, अकॉर्डिंग टू द ट्रेट थ्योरी। पर्सनैलिटी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक्सट्रोवर्ट। ना दो तरह के लोग होते हैं, इंट्रोवर्ट एंड एक्सट्रोवर्ट। इंट्रोवर्ट वो लोग होते हैं जो बहुत ज्यादा दूसरे की बात को सुनते हैं, और एक्सट्रोवर्ट वो लोग होते हैं जो ज्यादा आउटस्पोकन होते हैं, जो अपनी बात को कहने में ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड होते हैं बजाय दूसरे की बात सुनने में। तो अकॉर्डिंग टू द अर्ली ट्रेट थ्योरीज जो लोग बहुत एक्सट्रोवर्ट होते थे, जो लोग बहुत ज्यादा हम कह सकते हैं कि बातूनी होते थे, जो लोग बहुत ज्यादा लाइक कम्युनिकेशन के एक्सपर्ट होते थे, जो कहते थे कि लाइक अपनी बात को वो पहले करना पसंद करते थे और दूसरे की बात को कम सुनते थे, तो हाईली एक्सट्रोवर्ट जो लोग होते थे उनको कहा जाता था कि दे हैव ए वंडरफुल पर्सनैलिटी एंड दे आर द ट्रू लीडर्स अकॉर्डिंग टू द अर्ली ट्रेट थ्योरीज। Talking about skills and abilities, intelligence, according to the trait theories, जो लोग बहुत ज़हीन होते हैं, उनके पास कुछ दूसरों से बेहतर स्किल्स होती हैं, abilities होती हैं, they are the true leaders according to the early trait theories. And finally, social factors, interpersonal skills. The people who are socially well connected, people having a bigger social circle, they have many friends, and they are good in their communication skills, तो उनको कहा जाता था कि they are the real leaders according to the trait theory. There are certain limitations of trait theory. For instance, no consistent application of traits and leadership effectiveness. अच्छा, ये एक फाइंडिंग जो की गई रिगार्डिंग ट्रेट थ्योरी कि लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल कि आपकी हाइट के साथ या आपकी गुड लुकिंग अपीयरेंस के साथ आपकी परफॉर्मेंस का ताल्लुक साबित नहीं हुआ, कि जो लोग बहुत लंबे कद के हैं तो दे आर हाईली इफेक्टिव लीडर। तो अगर आप एट प्रेजेंट देखें दुनिया में, तो क्या हाइट जो है वो आपकी लीडरशिप स्किल्स को बढ़ा रही है? यस और नो? ऑफ कोर्स नो। सो हाइट और अपीयरेंस हैज नथिंग टू डू विद योर लीडरशिप स्किल्स। Tries to relate physical characteristics to effective leadership, and leadership is too complex to explain with such a simple model. In simple words, इतने सिंपल मॉडल से, इतनी सिंपल ट्रेट थ्योरी से आप लीडरशिप को एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि लीडरशिप को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए आपको बहुत डेप्थ में जाना पड़ेगा, और इतने स्ट्रेट सिंपल वे से आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि आपकी अपीयरेंस, आपकी हाइट, आपका एक्सट्रोवर्ट होना और आपकी सर्टन स्किल्स जो हैं, आपकी सर्टन हैबिट्स जो हैं, वही आपको लीडर बना सकती हैं। तो एक इतने सिंपल जो ट्रेट थ्योरी है, इसके सिंपल मॉडल से लीडरशिप को एक्सप्लेन करना आई थिंक नॉट पॉसिबल। Now let us talk about the behavioral theories. The behavior approach focuses on the behaviors that effective leaders engage in. Now, according to the behavioral theories, people could be trained to be leaders. Now it means that leadership is a skill that can be learned. People can become leaders with the help of training and development. So in simple words, leadership is a skill, and that skill can be mastered. Develop training programs to influence leadership behaviors. So there are various training programs available not only in Pakistan, all over the world, that can help people become leaders. Assume that the best style of leadership could be learned. So behavioral theories of leadership focuses more on becoming leader with the help of trainings. So once we make the right attitude of people, it converts into right behaviors, and once we develop the positive behaviors in people working in the organization, they become the real true leaders. Now let us talk about the contingency theories. Successful leaders are able to identify clues in an environment and adopt their leadership style to the situation. Contingency theory means that leaders who act according to the situation. So these are the type of leaders who are very successful according to this contingency theory, that they are highly flexible. They are so flexible that they quickly adopt to the situation. कि जो भी situation होती है उसके साथ एकदम ये adopt कर जाते हैं. So they are highly flexible people. Environment influences the type of leadership needed. So they adopt to environment quickly, they adopt to situation quickly, and according to the requirement and need of the situation, they adopt the leadership style as per the need. Examples are Fiedler's contingency model, path goal theory, and Room-Jetton model. Now I am going to discuss all these three examples one by one. And the first one is Fiedler's contingency theory. It says the theory that leader effectiveness is determined by both the personal characteristics of leaders and by the situation in which leaders find themselves. Fiedler's contingency theory sheds light on following important issues. The first one is why in a particular situation some leaders will be effective and other leaders with equally good credentials will be ineffective. Now this is a big challenge कि एक particular situation में कुछ leaders जो हैं they are effective and कुछ leaders they are not effective, having equal good credentials. Why a particular leader may be effective in one situation but not in another? This is another big issue according to Fiedler's contingency theory. So there is no best way for leaders to lead. Now this is another major finding of this theory. So there is no best way. So these are the major challenges. Talking about the path-goal theory of leadership. Path-goal theory of leadership formulated by Robert House proposes that the leader can affect the performance, satisfaction, and motivation of a group in different ways. Now the true leaders, according to the path-goal theory of leadership, says that they are wonderful motivators. So with the help of their motivation, they can affect the performance, they can improve the performance of their followers, they can improve the satisfaction level of their followers with the help of motivation in various ways. And examples are offering rewards for achieving performance goals. Now performance oriented rewards हैं. Okay, you achieve your goals, we will give you this. You achieve that goal, we will reward you like that. So pay for performance system is there. So higher the goal, higher the reward, lower the goal, lower the reward, no goal achievement, no reward. And they clarify paths towards these goals. They coach people. These type of leader who follow the path-goal theory of leadership, they facilitate their followers. They guide their followers. They tell them the right way. They tell them the right path that reaches the goals. These type of leaders, they remove obstacles to performance. If there is any hurdle or hindrance or any problem on the way, these type of leaders, following the path-goal theory of leadership, they try to remove those articles in order to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of their subordinates. Now talking further about the path-goal theory of leadership, a leader's job is viewed as coaching or guiding workers to choose the best paths for reaching goals. Now talking about the achievement-oriented leadership, leaders set challenging goals and encourages followers to achieve, appropriate to use when followers suffer from lack of job challenge. Now this is really very important because the most challenging goals improves the performance and the most easiest goals decreases the performance of your subordinates or followers. So in order to create that motivation among your employees, this is important that you need to set challenging goals, and particularly for those followers who suffer from lack of job challenge. Because when your job becomes boring, when your job becomes unchallenging, people start losing their interest in their work. लोग कहते हैं यार ये तो बड़ा बोरिंग है, रूटीन काम है, रोज एक ही तरह काम करना है, इसमें कोई नई बात नहीं है. तो जब इस किस्म की थिंकिंग शुरू हो जाए, इस तरह की बातें शुरू हो जाए ऑफिस में, तो आप सोचें कि वहां क्रिएटिविटी और इनोवेशन कैसे होगी, वहां इंप्रूवमेंट कैसे आएगी. सो यहां पे इस तरह के लीडर्स की जरूरत है जो चैलेंजिंग गोल्स लेके आए, टफ गोल्स लेके आए, स्पेसिफिक गोल्स लेके आए, और उसके साथ डेफिनेटली रिवॉर्ड्स भी लेके आएंगे. क्योंकि एम्प्लॉइज ओनली एक्सेप्ट द चैलेंजिंग एंड स्पेसिफिक गोल्स along with rewards. If there are no rewards, then of course how you are going to motivate your followers. Directive leadership. Leader let followers know what is expected and tells them how to perform their task. Appropriate to use when followers have ambiguous jobs. So achievement oriented leadership के साथ साथ path goal theory of leadership में leaders they use the directive style of leadership. They give a directions to their subordinates and followers, tell them their expectations, and also tell them the methods and the ways to perform their responsibilities. Particularly उन employees के लिए, followers के लिए who are having the ambiguous jobs. They are unsure or they are confused that how to perform their assigned responsibilities. Now talking further about the path goal theory of leadership. It is also called participative leadership. Leaders consult with followers and ask for suggestions before making a decision. Appropriate to use when follower is using improper procedures or making poor decisions. Now, path goal theory में it is highly participative leadership. So before making any major decision, leaders they consult with followers. The leaders ask their followers for suggestions, for their feedback before making a decision. Now this creates a sense of ownership among the employees. Followers they become more loyal with the organization because they know that their leader is giving them value by asking them for suggestions. And once followers see that their suggestions are like made part of the decisions, they are more highly motivated. Supportive leadership. Leader is friendly, approachable, and shows concern for followers' psychological well-being, appropriate when the follower lacks confidence. So in order to increase the confidence level of your followers, leaders use this supportive leadership style. They become more friendly, approachable, and they are taking care of the psychological well-being of their followers. Now this is really very important for a leader to take care of the psychological well-being, because whenever a person joins any organization at any level, so apart from the written agreement of job, there is also a psychological contract which is an unwritten thing. So there is a psychological contract between you and the organization जिसमें आपने job के लिए apply किया है. And once you get that job, so you have a sense of responsibility. You have a sense of loyalty. You want to do really something good in your organization. And that is called a psychological contract. And the leaders who follow this path goal theory of leadership, they try to strengthen that psychological contract of followers with the organization. But if we do not trust our employees, if we do not give importance to the well-being of our employees, if we are unapproachable, and if we are unfriendly with our followers in our organization, what happens that we break that psychological contract. And this is highly dangerous, because once that psychological contract breaks, that the result is performance declines. So in order to strengthen the loyalty, in order to improve the performance of employees, it is really very important that the real leaders, true leaders, should follow the path goal theory of leadership and take care of the social well-being of their followers. Next, talk about the Room and Jetton model, a model that describes the different styles in which leaders can make decisions. So let us talk about the various decision-making styles of leaders. And the first one is called autocratic. The leader makes the decision without input from subordinates. So as the name says that, autocratic. So leader has the authority to make any decision without input, without feedback from subordinates. So it is like a one-man show. Whatever you want, you do, and you have no concern what others' needs or wants are, what others' feelings are. So you're not giving importance to the input from others. So it means that whatever others are saying is unimportant to you. But whatever your self-perception says, you stick to it. Next is consultative decision-making style of leaders. Subordinates have some input, but the leader makes the decision. Now this is comparatively little better than the autocratic style. In consultative leadership style of decision-making of leaders, leaders allow subordinates to give their input, but leader himself or herself alone makes the decision. So it is not necessary that कि उनके इनपुट को डिसीजन का हिस्सा बनाया जाए in case of consultative decision making style. The third is group decision making style of leaders. The group makes the decision. The leader is just another group member. Now, leader becomes a member in a group. So leader is not the head of the group. Leader is one of the members in a group. So everybody is a member in a group. All the members have equal voting right. All the members have equal value and weightage. And all the members, they make a decision mutually. And the fourth decision-making style of leaders is called delegated. The leader gives exclusive responsibility to subordinates. Now in this delegated style of decision making, the leader empowers his or her followers or subordinates. The leader delegates his decision making power. So the leader gives exclusive responsibility to various subordinates to perform various decision making activities on their own. Now let us further talk about leadership. Other important models, those are charismatic leadership model, situational leadership model, and transformational leadership model. Let us first talk about the Weber's charismatic leadership model. Influence based on follower perception that the leader is endowed with the gift of divine inspiration or supernatural qualities. Now, in this type of model called Weber's charismatic leadership model, जो फॉलोअर है उसकी परसेप्शन, उसकी जो थिंकिंग ये है कि जो लीडर है he has supernatural qualities. उसके पास एक charismatic qualities हैं. Leader can do anything. And this is a very strong belief of his followers. And followers जो होते हैं इस किस्म के charismatic leadership style में, they have high trust on their leader, whom they believe that who has having the supernatural qualities or skills. Charismatic leaders increase the intrinsic value of effort, making it more appealing. Now, जैसे हमने पहले बात की कि there is one thing called intrinsic reward, the other thing is called extrinsic. And the more powerful is the intrinsic thing, sense of achievement. Inner satisfaction is more important than the outer satisfaction in the long run, according to research. So as a result of charismatic leadership, followers, they are more motivated internally. So they are highly motivated from their inner. Their attitude is highly positive because they have total trust on the leader whom they believe that who has certain charismatic abilities. Great at building conviction for a cause and lead by example. Now let us talk about the charismatic leader characteristics. These are the major characteristics of charismatic leaders. We start from the visionary. Now, charismatic leaders, they have a wonderful vision. And how do you define vision? A vision is something which is not easy to achieve. And anything you can achieve easily is not a good vision. Like for example, education for all in Pakistan. Now, this is really a wonderful vision, but it is not easy to achieve. So we should have a smart vision. We should have a highly challenging vision. And charismatic leaders, their major characteristic is they have a wonderful, highly challenging vision. Their verbal communication skills are wonderful. Now, verbal communication skills means that their spoken and written communication. With the help of their verbal communication skills, they easily influence their followers. Self-confidence is really very high. They are highly confident people. They are highly confident leader. They know what they are doing. And as जैसे हम पहले भी कहा हमने कि if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. So charismatic leaders are those who always say that, yes, I can do it. Intelligent. Their intelligence level is really very high. They are high risk takers. और जैसे हम कहते हैं, higher the risk, higher the gains, lower the risk, lower the gains, no risk, no gains. So charismatic leaders, they take high risk for higher gains. They have high energy. They never compromise. They are dynamic people. Sometimes it is also seen that they are taller than others and they are responsible people. They are proactive people. They have a strong, good decision-making power. And they focus on self-promoting. So they focus on improving their self-presentation in order to promote their self. So in this way, others' belief on them as a charismatic leader strengthens more. So these are the major characteristics of charismatic leaders. Now let us talk about the situational leadership. It links the situation with the concept of task and relationship in the leader's subordinate role. Now, situational leadership, it is used to determine if one style is task or relationship oriented and if the situation matches the leader's style to maximize performance. Now, this is really very important, that situation is really very important. कि जैसी सिचुएशन होगी, अगर उसके मुताबिक ही लीडरशिप का स्टाइल होगा, लीडर का स्टाइल होगा, तो that will help the organization to improve the employee performance. Like for example, situation अगर बहुत friendly है and the leader also having the friendly style of leadership, so that will enhance the performance of the employees working in that organization. Further talking about the situational leadership, leadership behavior should be appropriate for the circumstances. So leadership is dependent on the task, group characteristics, organization's culture, and interpersonal relationships. Now this is really very important, that you need to focus on these areas, because the situational leadership is dependent on these areas. Like for example, what is the task? What is the nature of the task? And what are the characteristics of group members? And what about the organization's culture? And what about the interpersonal relationships in the organization? So leaders who keep in mind all of these factors, they are better able to perform than those leaders who do not take care, who do not take into consideration all these factors. So further talking about situational leadership, there are three elements of the leader-follower situational model developed by Fred Fielder. The first one is position power, the degree to which a leader's position ensure compliance. Next is called task structure, the degree of clarity for goal accomplishment. And finally, leader-member relations, the nature of relationship between the leader and the members. Now let us talk about the transformational leaders. Transformational leaders can develop a sense of what the organization can become. Now transformational leaders have a wonderful vision. They forecast things well. They are highly proactive people, and they know what they are doing. And they try not only meet the expectations of the organization, transformational leaders do something beyond the imagination of the organization, beyond the imagination of their followers. Recruit others with similar values. So that is another major competitive edge of transformational leaders in an organization, that they appreciate recruiting those people who have the similar kind of values, like having a wonderful vision, resolve conflicts. Now you see that once you are able to manage conflicts, Once you are able to resolve conflicts, you can do wonders. Because when you try to resolve conflicts, it improves the relationship of people with each other in the organization. Blame game जो है that reduces in the organization. Leg pulling को minimize करते हैं. Resistance to change को minimize करते हैं by resolving conflicts. और जब conflicts को resolve किया जाता है, तो result is more loyalty, more commitment, more sincerity. Constantly communicate values. Now these are the type of leaders who focus more on communication. They tell their subordinates on regular basis that these are the values, these are the principles, this is the criteria. And they also communicate shared values. And these are the characteristics of transformational leaders. Charisma provides vision and sense of mission, gains respect and trust. Inspiration communicates high expectations, uses symbols to focus efforts, expresses important purposes in simple ways. Another characteristic of transformational leader is called intellectual stimulation. Promotes intelligence, rationality, and careful problem solving. They have individualized consideration, gives personal attention, treats each employee individually, coaches and advises. Further talking about transformational leadership, leaders combine theories, trait, behavioral and contingency. Leaders are usually charismatic and visionary, can inspire followers to transcend their own self-interest for the good of the organization. Research indicates that transformational leadership is strongly correlated with low turnover rates, high productivity, and better employee satisfaction. Now let's look at this diagram. We talk about transactional leadership, motivating for performance at expected levels, stressing the link between reward and goal achievement, uses agreed upon performance to motivate. Now transformational leadership goes beyond transactional leadership. How? In transformational leadership, motivating for performance beyond expectation of the employer. They can do something beyond the imagination of their followers. So it is not only meeting or exceeding expectations. Transformational leaders are those leaders who can do something beyond your imagination, inspiring for missions beyond self-interest, instilling confidence to achieve performance. So when we talk about performance beyond expectations, we need to have transformational leadership in our organizations. Now barriers are what might prevent or hinder you from achieving your aims and how to overcome it. What you can change, control, and what you cannot change, uncontrollable. So you need to focus more on what is controllable, so making it happen. Which first small steps can you take soon to work towards your goals? Review progress regularly. How have you used skills, knowledge, experience to achieve projects or tasks? Record what you did, how you did it, and what the result was. And in summary, the primary goal of a leader is to motivate employees. To accomplish this goal, it is imperative that the leader fully understand how the people are motivated. Otherwise, the organization will never be as good as it could be. So thank you very much, all of you. I believe that with the help of today's discussion, you are able to understand the concepts and theories we have discussed in our lecture. Inshallah, see you all in the next lecture. Khuda Hafiz.